of words that can compare. How do I communicate?
Good morning. Welcome to
Who you
Brittingham,
are.
special edition, Brittingham and Mothers. My name is June Hawkins. This is
Hi, my name is Myrna Suber, Harlan's mother, also the president of Mothers Organization. Before we get started, good, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Biden family. I found out about his death Sunday, and even though I never met Beau Biden, I have met Joe, and I felt his pain because as a mother who has also lost, I don't know his pain, but I do know that pain. So again, I want to extend my condolences to the family.
all right. Thank you. And again, this is a special edition, Mother's Edition. And today, what we're going to do is bring up. We have a few guests, some community activists, so to speak, that I would like to introduce to Wilmington to address some of the violence that's going on in Wilmington right now, to address some of the effects and some of the things that they're doing to help with that. My first guest to my right here is Mr.
My name is Henry Murray. Right now I'm putting together MMIBS, Mentor Mind Intelligent Brothers and Sisters. I'm in college right now for construction management. And I'm just trying to put me and my plan with my members to try to help the community better, you know, get past the violence. It's going to take a little while. It's not a day at a time. Well, you know, it is a day at a time, but it's not an overnight thing. So, you know, that's what I'm working on as my career, you know, go forth. I'm working on the community. So at the same time, we both going to be working together as my career pursue.
Okay. And Henry has is coming from a unique position. Henry, could you tell us how it brought you to creating Mentoring Minds?
Now, I was once a juvenile, you know, dealing with, you know, violence and bad neighborhoods and just growing up, bad kid in school. I took a couple violent charges at the age of 17, and I was incarcerated. So that led to now going down a bad path, which had me off focus now. So I came back home to the community, and I'm ready to give back. I've been in school ever since I've been home. And I just want to give back to the kids now that I understand without growing up with a father, you know, how hard it is for that kid to overcome certain obstacles while he's growing up in life. So I'm here now to mentor them kids that don't have that right guidance, and they look for the streets because it's the easiest way out, you know, when you're going through life and you're struggling. So I'm here to try to change that wave and let them know that you have a 22-year-old brother. My birthday, November 24th, and I was born in 1992, that knows, you know, a couple steps ahead in the game, how you could get your mind, like, you know, fine, like you get it like fine. You got coarse grain soil, then you got fine grain soil. You need it fine so you can make it through these obstacles out here in today's society.
All right, excellent. My next guest is Brother Hope.
Everybody, good evening, good morning, good evening. I don't even know what time it is right now. I'm just CEO Hope, because, you know, if those don't know me, I'm the co-founder and founder of Hope's Academy, which is a turning school for high-risk students. It's not the ones that are at risk currently, the ones who are still in school that's going to our turn schools. We want the ones who are not going to school at all, the ones who are dropped out. Yeah. We're looking for the ones that are, you know, on the corners during the daytime when school sessions are going on, because they're not doing anything. So those are either our targets right there. We're also targeting the ones who are coming out of prison. In a lot of situations, what happens is once you be, you know, as a juvenile, you get locked up, and then you become an adult, you come home, you have a criminal background. So now it's like, you know, I got to continue to do what I'm doing to survive, which is the means of the streets, because you got a criminal background. You can't get certain jobs. There's a lot of blockages against you because of your criminal background and criminal record. So what Hope Academy is going to do is we're going to specialize in those ones who are coming out of prison and get programs for housing, job training, programs of that effect. Because what happens is that it's a lot of blockage. And by the time you get 25, 30, you want to change your life around, you realize like this is nothing for you. It has no end to it but jail, and you don't want to go to jail. There's nowhere currently that you can actually turn and actually get that step. So what happens is you still need food, clothing, and shelter. So you start to go back to that society to get your means of survival. So until we talk about pacifying that situation, crime will never decrease. You can bring 100,000 officers into the city, but that's not going to do anything if the children are not educated. Our motto is, he who opens a school closes a prison cell. That's what we're working on. And our logo is actually a book, an open book with a jail cell in the middle of our book. So when you close that book, you close that jail cell because you've been educated. So until you educate the individuals on how to make their life better and different opportunities, then you can never get them. You're going to keep getting the crime, keep going to jail. And we understand that if the school to prison pipeline, it's a big business. As a kid, when I was in school, they gave me $13,000 a year to be educated. Okay, but as a prison inmate, I was getting $30,000 a year, and I wasn't doing nothing but sitting in my jail cell and reading the book, playing checkers and chess, and using and collect calls. But I'm getting $30,000. I had 3 meals every day in jail. But if a parent makes a little extra money in society, she got to pay for a child lunch. So we got to look at the balance system. So what we created was Hope's Academy. We're more than a school. We're a full-service center for those ones who did prison time, like myself, who now came home. You have all the reentry programs you got, all you want. You have all the training programs in the world. But what people don't understand is, they say, well, we're going to offer them training programs. But you offer them training programs into job fields that they can't even get employment in, because why? They criminal background. Hey, go be a truck driver, go this, go be that, go train, go to Voltech schools. But when you come out of them degree classes, whatever, Voltech, you ain't getting no job because you're criminal background. So what we're going to do at Hope Academy is we're going to create those businesses and we're going to employ the students ourselves. Because in order to, like I said, in order to cut the crime of the drugs and the robbery, monetary reasons, you got to pacify that. So we're going to have a 3-to-1 system. What that consists of is they have a teacher, a mentor, and a work coach. So therefore, somebody's always with them at all times, even adults. If you show them different things and enjoying life, they're going to do things different. But until you could actually cut that alternative off for selling drugs, that means, then you're not going to stop crime. It's just not going to happen. So we got to realize that in order to change something, we, the community, as one whole, we have to do it. It's not designed for somebody to do it because why? They're not affected. So we go back to that school to prison pipeline. You get more for an inmate than you do for a child going to school.
Right.
School districts are closing down and prisons are going up.
Wow. That's powerful. I hope everybody's
Some
just listening to that.
information like to put out there, or
Yes.
number or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, we have a whole website. We'll get to that.
Okay.
And my third guest we have right now is Mr. Brahman Jackson. And Brahman Jackson, just let the audience know what exactly it is you do.
All right, my name is Brahman Jackson. I'm IOP counselor at Brandywine Counseling. So, well, first and foremost, I also have to give a condolence out to the Biden family. I have either worked or associated with Joe Biden, Bo Biden, and with Ashley because I'm in the field that works directly with the adjudicated and at-risk youth population. I've also worked with the felon population. That's more so my freelance, my free time. But the problem is real, and we all have an understanding of that. The only speaking, I think I want to make sure you can hear what I'm saying because I do have the message. Throughout my lifetime, I've been a part of a lot of the systems, the school to prison pipelines, a lot of the elements that come along with the population that I serve. And now when being educated on what was going on with me mentally and the systems that I was inside, I'm in a better standing to teach and to reach the youth that have are going through some of the things that I've gone through, and sometimes a little bit worse. So I've joined Hope within this academy because I see truth in it, and truth is a rock. Truth is always going to be solid. And I don't want to take too much time, but a lot of my associations with just me and another partner of mine opened the org Calls the World, which is a collective action urging social evolution. So the Calls is another program that just orients empowering the individual to start impacting their community. And that's exactly what each one of us up here is doing. So no, they didn't know it yet. They may have called it something else, but each one of them are starfish casters. And starfish casters, people who see, things that look degraded, things that like the Murder Town USA, and say, no, we're not going to accept that. What we're going to do, we're going to solve the problem, because we know, just like people have their own opinions and ideas about others, but once you cross that bounds to dropping the waterline, seeing a little bit more of the iceberg that's under the water, you'll see that there's not too much a difference, and there's a lot of associations and connections that can be made.
Thank you, Brahman, Hope, and Mr. Murray. It's powerful. We got a whole lot of power sitting on these couches today. I mean, the city needs to take notice. We got 3 young black men. I mean, Hope, me and you about the same age, but we young.
I'm 20.
There you go. There you go.
We young.
That's link. That's link.
But these are the people that are making a difference. And just in short, what actually me and my mother do, we have a group, and it's called Mothers, which is an acronym for Mothers Operating Together, Helping Each Regain Strength. And it was a group that was created out of tragedy. My sister, my mother's daughter, was murdered in 2002. A member of the clergy came to us and said, they don't know what we have to do, but y'all have to do something. And that something turned into Mothers. And what we do is a little bit on the other side of the violence. It's not necessarily the prevention part. Of course, we're part of that too, but we're on the other side of it when helping the families, the friends, the community members who are affected directly or indirectly by the violence. Support group meetings, we have different events, we offer a fellowship for people who can actually say, I know how you feel, and really know how you feel. It's an unnatural law to bury a child.
Yeah.
It's breaking natural order. So a lot of times these mothers, these parents need someone that can say, to hold their hand and say, I know how you feel. And Mothers has become that. Me and my mother have spearheaded this, and we try, and it's a small nonprofit organization, and a lot of times we're digging deep in our pockets and begging everybody we know to keep things running. But we keep it going, and I'm glad I got to meet people like yourselves, because we can link up together and make things easier for everybody.
And see, even like with the organization you have with the Mothers, part of the school and Hope's Academy is to bring in individuals like yourself into the academy, because what happens is people understand the traumatic side and the trauma side of the after effect after someone lose their life. Everybody's affected in that community. And that little small child who's seen that man or young lady get shot, that child now affected by that. And then they dealing with it thinking out. You see what I'm saying? Now it's like, Mom, I got to protect myself because I got to get me a gun now. So it's a whole bunch of turmoil that happened after that. So that program that you'll have, those are the programs the Hope's Academy is bringing into the school. We're going to have trauma 101, trauma 2, trauma 3, trauma 1, dealing with the situation the person being. Because what happens is a lot of times in school, if a young man does see that type of trauma, he go to school next day, it might be his brother, his cousin, his friend. The teacher don't know what he's going through, why he may be acting out. So he might know this something, might do something, he retaliating out of anger, and then there's a whole bunch of another forte and violence coming after that. So the program y'all have is definitely excellent, it's definitely needed, and it's a program that should be without a question be funded by the city, because why? You need a trauma department. The same way how you need a trauma hospital in your city, which Wilmington doesn't have a trauma hospital in Wilmington.
Same way
you
need
a trauma program,
counseling.
Right, form of counseling. You need that, because guess what? We're all affected after that. The same thing with, with anything in life. It affects the whole house. If mom don't pay a light bill, everybody in the house gonna feel the light bill, because nobody can get lights and water and heat. So we all got to take together. It's a puzzle.
People ask what motivates you, what keeps you going. Now, I have to say in the beginning, it was just about my baby, because I was so hurt and so pain, and I still live with that pain every day, probably for the rest of my life. But all the killings and everything's going on, I think if we can save one, we've done something with our organization. If we can save one child, make one person put that gun down. My nephew, he has that song, Guns Down.
Right.
I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I think that says so much.
Right.
Well, we're going to wrap up this first little segment. I just want to shout out to Mr. Brittingham and friends one more time, because
thank you.
Without him, we didn't have a platform for this forum. We have these intelligent brothers that have so much to offer to this city. And the city needs to take notice to the resources they have outside of the political arena, and people that just feet on the ground.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
Rami, you're dealing with these young guys who are dealing with the trauma.
Yep.
Hope, you're dealing with these mothers who have lost and people fresh out of prison. And Mr. Murray, Henry, you are at 22 years old. You belong to that endangered species that is young black men.
We going to get him.
We gonna
We reeled him in. He ain't know it.
man.
He reeled
He's
in.
the glue.
We're gonna wrap up real quick, and we'll be back in a few minutes with a few more guests, special guests, and anything you'd like to say before we go?
No, I just want to thank Mr. Brittingham again for allowing us this platform, and
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome back to Brittingham and Friends Special Mother's Edition. We just had a few gentlemen out here who had some projects and some programs of their own that they've run. Introduced myself and what mothers do. Now we have a more personal side of things. Also, we have a new co-host.
Yeah.
This is
My name is Khalil Hawkins.
he's my right-hand man in Mothers. And like I said, we have a more personal experience portion of the segment today. And I just want to give them a chance to introduce themselves really quick. And to my right is...
My name is Patricia Buckworth. You might hear June refer to me as Pooh. It's okay.
Pooh to me.
Hey, Pooh.
My name is Roderick Buckworth. I'm the family member.
My name is Blair Hawkins. I'm a mother of members.
Member of mothers.
Yeah, that's you.
And my name is Sharice White, an extended part of the family.
All right. Now I just want to, and I still have the other guys back and behind us to hold us down too. Really quick, well not really quick. Roderick and Patricia probably can do this together. Just tell us why you're here.
Do you want to start?
Go ahead.
Actually, we're here because June 10th of last year, it's almost a year, a mentally ill neighbor broke into our home and shot both of us. I was shot once in the abdomen. I still have the bullet and 5 fragments in my thigh. Roderick was shot twice, once in the neck and once in the wrist. So if anybody knows us personally, this is my hero. He acted really quickly. The human part of it is the reaction. The male part of it is protection. He ran down the hall to protect me. Through the dresser in front of the door, the shooter started shooting through the door. After he shot both of us, he stood above me and said, "This is not happening, this is only a dream." Shot himself, and his body landed on top of me. I didn't actually see him shoot himself. Roderick had that view. So even though we were in the same room, going through the same thing, different outcomes. So, and, different.
So we're blessed to have you here, first of all.
Yes.
Blessed to have you here. Then.
Yes.
Roderick, would you like to expel a little bit more on your experience in that?
It was more of a scare moment for me, a moment where I didn't know what was going on, what was happening. So it was unreal. It was unreal. You got a neighbor kicking down your door. First thing you do is like, what's going on? And then he starts shooting off. It was, to me, it's looking back on it. It's like, it's the things you talk about when you see a movie. When you see a movie and the girl's running and she tripping fall, you're like, all right, come on, get up. Why you falling? Why you falling? That actually happened. Like, we had a rocking chair, and you put your feet up. I actually tripped on the foot part, but thank God I tripped on the foot part simply because he was aiming for for my head. But if I ain't tripping fall, I'd have been done. I wouldn't have got a chance to get to my mom's room. So running down the hallway through the dresser in front of the door. At that time, I was probably like 120 pounds. Putting a dresser in front of the door, but I'm glad I was able to get there and save my mom's life as well as mine. And I talk to people now and they say I'm blessed to be here because people that get shot in their neck don't normally make it. So it's just a blessing on my behalf.
Again, there's a God. You're here for a reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that this is Roderick's mother, but his quasi-mother was my sister Anya, who kept him attached to her hip for forever.
Yes.
But Uncle Bilal,
Yes.
and as you're a member of Mothers, our group,
Right.
but you're also a member of the Peacekeepers.
Yes.
Could you just tell us a little bit about your experience with the violence in Wilmington in the last, let's just say, 12 months?
Right. Well, I've been pounding the streets of the city of Wilmington for a while, and like you said, but the last 12 months became personal. Became personal because I lost my grandson to violence. And when I say the victims of violence, I don't know how you feel, but I know how it feels. And it's a feeling that I didn't like. It's a feeling that doesn't go away because of the closeness of our family. And there's a lot of violence that's been attracted to our family. Like my sister here got shot, my nephew got shot, my grandson got killed, my niece got killed. So for those who say, get over it, it's been a while. To them I say, what I can't see on the air.
Yeah, you want Brittingham to welcome us back. Right? And Sharice, please, this is your form.
Okay. Well, I lost my son on January the 24th to gun violence. He was shot 12 times. They shot at him 15. And nothing has been done. They don't have a clue on who it is. They're trying. You understand that I have, but no answers have been given. And I'm numb. I don't feel anything. I get asked constantly how I feel, how am I doing? I lost my son, my life, my firstborn. So it hurts every day, all day. And I just need somebody to speak up because I know somebody out there knows something in regards to all the violence that has been going on. And that's pretty much, I just want you to speak up, someone to speak up.
So Wilmington, we're pleading with you. If you know something, say something. And let's get a short definition of snitching really quick. If you're part of the life and you tell on someone, that's snitching. Community members, no part of their life, no part of that violent life, not part of the drug culture. If you call and say, I saw a young man shot on my corner, it's not snitching. So take pride in your community because it starts with us. You know, we have to look in the mirror. We can't look at the mayor's office. We can't look at the police chiefs. It starts with the community. And this is our community. We have pain across this entire panel. And we have some pain relievers on the panel. And I'm a big proponent of counseling, a very big proponent of counseling. I love, I know in our culture, the black community, it's always what happens in the house stays in the house. That's always something we've grown up on, However, there's no pride in getting, there's no shame in getting help, There's no shame in getting help. And
can I say something?
Please say something.
On the snitching side. See, you got to define the snitching. See, a lot of individuals don't know what snitching is. All right, they had these shirts says no snitching, all the snitches get stitches. That's not what a snitch is. When you identify a murderer, what you doing is you saving your life. Because we're going to do a reality here. If I go out there and I shoot somebody and he see me shoot him, now if I think he might tell on me or break down, I got to shoot him too. Because he knows something. So the best thing for him to do is to tell on me. Because now it prevents him from being shot, or for me thinking he might tell. I might hear somebody say, you know what? They know Hope did it. And I know for a fact he seen me do it, or he was a part of my gang or my clique or my group that went and targeted it. I got to go get him next. So the best thing for him to do is to get me first. So that's not what he's snitching. Our motto at Hope Academy is, don't snitch on my would-be killer, prevent my would-be killer.
That's something to applaud.
I don't want you to just, don't snitch on him when he kill me. Prevent it from happening. Because what individuals don't know as well, there's case law that when I committed this murder, if he seen me, he going down with me. And guess what he gonna do in the end? Take a plea bargain.
And quote unquote snitch
and
anyway.
snitch. Ain't nobody talking about they going behind these cell walls and ain't telling. They're telling. It's a matter of time. They're going to get you. So if you do know individuals who committed murder, please report that. And if you don't want to report it, come and tell me. I'm going to report that. Because I'm going to save my life and your life and innocent neighbors. They was innocent individuals. But somebody know that man may have mental issues, but then prevent things like that from occurring. So we got to stop being relaxed. There's no such thing as no snitching for a murder case.
Exactly. And it's like you said with that her being an innocent bystander, Roderick and Poop being innocent bystanders to a neighbor who was actually suffering from PTSD.
Yes.
Which brings me to the next thing, actually, that our community is suffering from a level of PTSD. I'm certain, without question, that Sharice is suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm certain, without question, that Pooh and Roderick are suffering from PTSD. I myself suffered. So it's something that we need to address. And Henry, you look like you had an idea about it.
On Sharice, correct? Okay, now, my thing is this.
You gotta speak up a little bit.
My thing is this. When you got juveniles and criminals and all types of kids and grown-ups in the streets committing these crimes, what we have to think about is the families, the kids that's creating the crimes, the mothers, the fathers, the grandpops, the grandmothers, all these people that's around when these crimes are getting committed. You know, you gotta start thinking about the heart, man. It's okay to be in the streets and, you know, live there. But in order to get out of the streets, you have to go by education, go to school. We all think it's hard. I went through it. Basic math, basic writing. That's where it have to start. Like the crime that's happening, all y'all doing right now is hurting people. That's y'all family members. Like we all family members as one. Like I help everybody family. I help everybody kids. I talk to anybody family, the mothers. She's sitting here hurt. That hurt me because I once was that violent person when I was a juvenile. So seeing her hurt, you know, and me being the person that's giving that feeling to that person, I feel like I got to give back to the community now because I was one of them people before, you know, and I don't want to hurt nobody. I want to save people's hearts. Even if the crime happened to that person, I still want them to feel like they got people out here that's going to work for the rest of their life. And that's what I'm gonna do. As my career pursue, I'm gonna work for the rest of my life to help people like this young lady right here, this young man right here, and this young lady right here. Help them cure as we go on in life so we can see it's gonna be a change.
Now, so, and really quick, Brahman, dealing with it in the counseling community, you know, how often do you get people who are officially labeled PTSD, suffering from PTSD, but aren't quote unquote military? I mean, do you get these children? Do you get these young guys coming in who are actually suffering from PTSD, but you have to treat them for something else?
Well, it's not a coincidence that you actually referred it to military, because that's something for a few years that I've been looking to, you know, do a comparison, do a study about comparing the effects of the trauma in the city to the trauma that happens on the battlefield, and seeing the characteristics of the trauma that has happened in the city and the people who are affected by it, and comparing that to what's happened on the battlefield. Now, I won't go into that synopsis, but to answer your question, I would say, unfortunately, that it's not really characterized as PTSD as much as it should be. It's more so ADD. It's depression, and you know, it's put into different disorders. So I think Hope in the first segment gave the example of something happening at home or something happening in the neighborhood that teachers, schools don't know about, and when the child reacts to it in school, it is seen as okay, well, Johnny is not studying, he's not doing his paperwork, he's in the back of the class, he's rapping these songs loud in the back of the class. Okay, he must have ADD. There must be something where in his learning capacity that doesn't work. I can tell you from being personally and from working with them professionally,
just about every child in the juvenile justice system and all the adults in the adult justice system could have degrees, master's degrees, if they were in that line of lifestyle. They would have master's degrees. The circumstance is what stops them. And the problem is it's not labeled as PTSD. It's not looked any further than, oh, they have their own individualized mental health issue that we can, subsidize with some medication.
Right.
And that just exacerbates the problem when that happens. You have a lot of young people that are on medication before, my generation. I'm not too old, but I'm old. And in my generation, it wasn't as much on medication, but even the ones that were, it was a small piece of embarrassment. It was a small part that why you got to keep going down to the nurse's office and getting all this.
Basically, what it sounds like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What it sounds like is that we're treating PTSD sufferers, people suffering from PTSD, and label them with behavior problems as opposed to a mental health issue.
Absolutely.
And that is another thing. We're not even bringing, at this juncture, the violence that we're subject to is a mental health issue, and we need to treat it as such.
Yes.
Uncle Bilal, you had said you wanted to speak about.
Yeah, we understand that there's some economic problems for our youth, but also I'm hard on the black male because I don't think the black male is doing this part. I feel that we still stand on the shoulders of our black females, and the city. I'm hard on the city because one of my biggest things I'm saying stop putting money in the riverfront and put some money in the riversides. I mean, when I was growing up, you can go to the boys' club for $7 membership. Right. The average black family cannot afford to send their child to the YMCA. I mean, how you can spend $200 for a membership? You either go to a membership and play basketball or eat. The mother has to make that decision. Well, if I have to make that decision, I'm gonna feed my child first. Right. So it's time to put some pressure on these city council members. Like when my grandson got murdered, she's on 31st Street. The mayor lived on 34th Street. Didn't get no call. But I bet you $5 to a Buffalo Head nickel, come November, she'll get a call.
That's serious. That's true. I mean, we don't have a political agenda here. No. But truth is truth, and it's not even about who the mayor is. The mayor is just the office.
Just the office.
Right. It's the office that's at fault, not who's in the office. I do want to talk to you, Sharice, again, in regards to your daily activities after the loss of your son, and how much they've changed.
I don't do anything. Pretty much, I'm in the house, go to work. First thing in the morning, I'm listening to his music because he was an aspiring artist. On my way to work, I'm listening to his music. On my desk is surrounded with his pictures. This is all I wear, shirts with him on. So my day-to-day life has changed greatly because anyone that knows me knows I'm an outgoing person and I don't withdraw from people, and that's what I'm doing.
See, and this is one young lady in regards to a single murder, and where we at in murders in Wilmington right now,
I want to touch on that, on the sister, for a Sharice situation. There's a House bill that we're working on, House Bill 12, and what that is like pushing for mandatory gun laws, like even as juvenile, mandatory time. Now, my program is education, reducing incarceration. So people say, why would you back House Bill 12 if you're talking about incarcerating them? House Bill 12 is not about incarcerating them. What it is tying in all the emotional, mental issues and putting them away for a certain amount of years to actually work with them on programming, obedience, authority, learn how to cope with situations. Because what happens is, right now, you shoot somebody as a juvenile, if you don't kill them, you be back home in a couple of years. They still got them issues that they're dealing with mentally and emotionally in their head. So when they come back home, their life of, I've been locked up before, I'm a superhero now, I can do it again, it ain't about nothing. It's points that are added to that. So now he come back home and he's more aggressive. So we asked individuals to support the House Bill 12 because what's going to happen is once we get that mandatory sentence in for them, what Delaware don't have is a juvenile probation camp. What that consists of is if you got a mandatory 3 years incarcerated, you're gonna wait to a program where you're gonna come out with a high school diploma, a GED, a trade. You're gonna have an opportunity to do something. You're not just sitting there now playing chess and checkers and making collect calls. So we're saying if the home front is not all what it's made out to be, then you need to put that child somewhere else, almost like a foster child situation. If my parents are not raising me right, and I run away and I do different things, and my mom get high, and my mom don't get high, but my mom get high, and they take me away from her and they put me in a foster home. They're not going to put me in a situation that's going to be better than what I came from. It's to make it better, give me a better lifestyle. So we asking for House Bill 12 to be pushed only because we want to put them individuals away. Now these mothers are not. To me, if it was me and my child got murdered and somebody killed my child, I'd be like, F them. I don't care about them. Do what you got to do to them. But they're saying lock them up and then treat them. Lock them up and treat them. Make them better so they don't retaliate on somebody else. When a murder happens, it don't only affect the victim's family, it affects that shooter's family as well. Because they're...
Actually, I would like to interject on that. I actually reached out to our shooter's daughter. I posted on Facebook one of the articles. I put, I can't believe this nightmare is my life. She messaged, so how Facebook is hooked up, everybody gets everybody's messages. And it said, I'm so sorry this happened to you. So I inboxed her on her Facebook Messenger and I said, June 10th, the ripples of June 10th went far and wide. They affected me, my son, my brother, Reese, you, all of my family, my nieces. But she lost her father that day. My son is not ready for that, to see that part of it yet. Sorry. But I had to let her know, baby girl, this is not your burden to bear. Like, this is not yours. He was mentally ill, but it affected her just as it affected us, just like it affected you. But for my own comfort, I needed her to know this was not her fault. But that's me and where I am in my therapy, because I go to therapy religiously. I go every 2 weeks. If I need to go every week, I'm in retail, and just recently one of the stores was robbed, so it just set me back to June 10th, even though I wasn't there when I walked into the building, to know that there was an assailant with a gun on the same grounds just hours before I got in there. I called my therapist. I'm like, I don't know what to do. My therapist is off on Fridays, and she's like, I'm in the office. If you need to come down here, come down. That's the relationship I have with her. And if you are getting therapy, that's the relationship you need to have with your therapist. And if one therapist is not working, fire them. Fire them and find another therapist.
Right.
Because you have the paintball coming up. Roderick was supposed to be involved last year, but our situation happened. She thinks it's a good idea for him to be involved in your paintball event. But for him, that's good. For me, I'm not ready. And your therapist knows, or counselor or psychiatrist or psychologist, wherever you go to get help, they should have that relationship with you and know that he's ready for something and I'm not.
And what she's referring to is mothers. We have our second annual paintballs, not bullets. It's not a game. What we do is we have a full day on the 13th, next Saturday. It's completely free to 12 years old, from 12 years old through seniors in high school. What we do, we take about 20 to 25 kids, and Trippy Congo donated his funeral home, and we start there with a day on education, on gun violence, on the effects of gun violence. Christiana Care came and showed a movie of gunshot wounds, and we just give them an education on the violence and the results. Then we leave the funeral home and we go down to Mansion House paintball field, and we have a day of paintball in which we kind of put them in some real life scenarios, situations, and we explain to them that that you get shot in this game, you get out, you get back into the next game. However, in real life, you get shot, you'd be lucky if you get put in a chair, you know? And we do it at Congo's funeral home to send a message that this is where you can end up at, one way or another. And I'm a little disappointed in the city this year that they didn't give us, you know, I reached out to everyone in city council. They would have sent $25 per, each of them would have sent $25. It would have lessened the load of us digging our pockets, selling dinners and so on and so much to pay for it.
Digging.
Yeah, we digging.
We digging.
And but like I said, it's next week, so you still have time. Call me. But you know, and it's one of the things about it is, as growing up in inner city, we don't have any sports that aren't low, what I call low equipment sports. We have basketball, we have football. You know, we want to introduce them to something different, and the paintball is one of the things that's why one of the reasons I take them down to paintball. Introduce them to something different. And if anybody who's ever played, it's like working on a heavy bag. It's an aggression relief. And if one thing I found out with all of the kids I've talked with is that they're angry. I've never seen so many angry kids in my life, and I'm talking 10 years old and up, just angry, mad at the world. And so I'm glad that Roderick this year is going to be able to join us. Last year, I talked to him, I think it was on a Monday, he said he was coming. And I think
The next
Tuesday it happened.
Next day.
They were shot on Tuesday, the next day. And the event was on that Saturday.
Right.
So I'm glad that he's coming. I'm glad it's going to be therapeutic for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, you know, me and my therapist was sitting down talking, and she was like, if you can go paintball and if you can go laser tag, anything that has anything to do with a gun, she was like, I think you're ready for it. Simply because, you know, the way, like my mom said, she knows what she knows me best.
Right.
So the paintballing, that's definitely going to be something that's therapeutic for me because she thinks I'm ready. She thinks I need to know that feeling again. She wants me to, you know, start back up track because she wants me to hear the gun sound and everything like that. So I'm glad that you do have this event coming up for mothers, and I'm glad that I am able to attend because this is going to be a therapy for me.
Right. It takes the power away from it.
It takes
the power away from the shot, the sound of the gunshot. We can close to wrap up time. Before we do get ready to wrap up, I do want to go to everybody and let them, if they have any information they want to share or anything, and start with myself. Like I said, paintball, not bullets. It's not a game. Is next weekend, the 13th of June. We start 9 in the morning. Contact me because I need waivers signed for liabilities. If you have a child that wants to be a part of it, we're open. But contact me anyway for anything for mothers. And that's you can reach me at loveisforever02@yahoo.com. And I'm gonna start with Brahman in closing.
All right, I'll just to make a quick statement, then I'll give my information. A lot of what was said here is a lot of desensitization of and acceptance of what's going on, and that's part of that's part of the trauma, and that's part of why it keeps going on and it keeps surrounding around it. But not to get too deep into it, we'll have to do that on the next segment. But information I stated before in the first segment, the calls. That's an organization that me and my partner built. You can reach us by callstheworld.org. It's got everybody here should definitely be on. Everybody here is definitely starfish casters. You'll understand that to see the website. And like I said, I'm a counselor at Brittingham Counseling, and we do 100% prevention. So with the program, with the paintball event, we'll connect that for sure, because we can definitely probably work with.
Okay. In case I'd like to say that, I mean, this is CEO Hope, Chris. You know, I got a website. My website is isupporthopesacademy.com. Everybody will receive a letter like this in your door. We gonna flood every door, car, asking for support for Hope's Academy. You can reach us, also online. If you're on Facebook, if you look up CEO Hope, I'm always on there. But the website is isupporthopesacademy.com.
My name is Henry Murray. Nice to speak to the young ladies and men, the kids. You could contact me at 215-501-6257. Email address henry.murray2020@yahoo.com. And you can contact me for information about the community.
All I want to say, speak up. It's not snitching, just speak up.
Anything? Anybody else?
If anybody feel like, you know, my situation can help you, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, I'm the manager, he's the boss. If you feel like you just want to reach out and talk to me, I have no problem at all speaking to anybody, because a lot of times you feel like you're alone, and you're not. You tell me all the time, you are not alone.
And exactly, that is our mother's motto. You are not alone. There's a hand out, reached out for anybody who needs to be pulled up. You know, you can probably pull us up. We have members that need pulling up.
Yes.
So again, we want to thank Mr. Brittingham and Friends for giving us this very special Mother's Edition of Brittingham and Friends. I want to thank the guests. I mean, y'all guys pulled me through this. It was my first time ever doing anything like this. I was sweating, and I want to thank y'all very much. My right-hand man here, Mr. Khalil Hawkins, who's always supporting us in everything we do. And with that said, I want to say anything.
Yeah.